What's up, vapors? Thanks for checking out Spin Fuel's Daily Vape TV. My name is Nick, and today we're going to be checking out the Mini Volt Kit by Council of Vapor. So before we get started here, guys, I do want to give a huge shout out to the people over at Council of Vapor. They're the ones that sent this thing along for the purpose of this review, so thank you guys so very much. I really do appreciate it. That being said, let's go over some of these specs on this device, and stay tuned for the end of the video because I will be giving this thing away. So if you want to enter for a chance to win this device, make sure you stay tuned till the end of this video. I'll go over all the details there for you. So let's go over some specs. Now, first of all, it is a 1300 milliamp hour built-in battery. The dimensions on this thing are 35 millimeters by 22 millimeters by 56 millimeters. The wattage output range is 5 to 40 watts. It has a carbon fiber grip, which is really nice, comfortable on the outside there, which you'll see more of that in the close-ups. It has a premium rubberized paint coat, which makes it feel kind of good. Definitely grippy. I like that. Ultra compact size. Obviously, this thing is absolutely tiny. As you can see, I mean, I have pretty big hands, but you can definitely tell it is very, very small. I mean, hey, we'll put it up next to a big boy mod real quick and give you a little bit of a scale of things there. Obviously, this thing is absolutely tiny. So it has 3 ramp modes, including soft, standard, and powerful, which is very similar to some of the major SX chip mods on the market nowadays. It has an intuitive LED display. Very nice on the top here. You can kind of see it. I'll give you a better look of that, of course, in the close-ups. And a micro USB port on the bottom for charging. And it has a 510 threaded connection. So some specs on the tank itself, which came in the kit that I received for this review. It's also known as the Mini Vengeance tank or the Mini Volt tank. It's 20 millimeters in diameter, has a 2 mil juice capacity, stainless steel construction, Pyrex glass reinforcement, quad air slots with the adjustable airflow base, wide bore air-cooled AFC drip tip, with spitback protection as well, just like a lot of the Council of Vapor products. Convenient top fill method. Uses vertical coils that measure in at 0.8 ohms, and it also has the 510 threads to match. Now, the kit includes a Mini Volt 40 watt mod, a Mini Volt atomizer, 1 pre-installed 0.8 ohm coil, 1 extra 0.8 ohm coil, an extra glass tube, and a micro USB charger. And I'm sure you're all wondering what's the price on this kit here. You're going to see it retailing for about $45. So before we go down to the close-ups, I do want to give you guys a bit of a sense of the vapor that this thing produces. Now, I am using the standard coils with it at 0.8 ohms at 40 watts. So let's just go ahead and have a few puffs on this thing, then we'll go down to the close-ups. Alright guys, let's go down to the close-up view for a better look at this thing. Alright guys, so as you can see, we have our Council of Vapor Mini Volt kit all ready to be unboxed. Let's just quickly go over the packaging. Of course, it has the lovely gold embellishment on the edges there. Really nice design and a very nice plastic gift box. You have your Council of Vapor logo on this side and their Facebook information and their website on this side here. Of course, you have your tamper-evident seals. Just a nice touch. I like that, making sure you have a good, solid product that's all intact. And on the back, you have the Council of Vapor logo once again, and a Mini Volt kit. So, without further ado, let's get into this. First of all, we have our mod and the Mini Vengeance tank. So let's just go ahead and take that out. Put those off to the side for 1 second. So if we open this up, we get all the extras in here. You have the replacement glass tank with extra O-rings. A replacement 0.8 ohm coil. And a micro USB charger. And underneath, we have all the extras here. Let's just go ahead and grab those out. So first of all, we have the Atomizer Quick Start Guide. Now, it may be self-explanatory how to fill the tank and everything like that, but I could definitely see the necessity for a new vapor. There's pictures on one side and text on the other. And we have our mod instruction manual. Very, very simple, nice graphics. And it covers anything you really need to know. Then you have the little scan code for the Council of Vapor giveaway stuff, so you can actually win something if you want to scan that for yourself. You can win a free coil head, Kindred mod, or an atomizer, which is really nifty. So that's kind of cool that they do that. Then you have your little warnings. Of course, you know, don't use an atomizer below 0.2 ohms, and make sure you fill your tank and prime the coils and everything before using it. Now, again, should be, you know, common knowledge, but for some people that could come in handy. All right, so let's go over the mod itself real quick. So, as you can see, nice little LED screen on there and the 510 connection. Now, the 510 connection is spring-loaded. Hopefully, I'll be able to demonstrate that. And it's definitely springing back on me, so it's kind of cool that they included that, so you can use a different atomizer if you wanted to. So the screen, really nice screen on it. I'm just going to turn it on real quick. You can see the COV splash screen, and that's it. It's on. So as you can see, it displays the battery, the wattage, the resistance of the coils, as well as the ramp mode that you're on. So it has 3 different ramp modes. If you hold down the fire button and the bottom button, it goes into that mode there. So you can select what ramp mode you want to use there. Just by pressing the up button, you can select soft, powerful, or standard. I prefer standard, so that's one I'm going with. If you wanted to change the wattage, it's just the up button as well as the fire button. And then you could hold down the bottom button to go down in wattage. You can also do it by 0.1 watt increments there. And has a good range of 5 to 40 watts. Now, built in to this is a 1300 milliamp hour battery. Now, I'm not sure if I even want to speculate whether they're using a LiPo or a 18350 or something like that, but it is a proprietary battery. They didn't really give me much information on it, so that's really all I can say about that. Has that nice, soft, rubbery feeling to it. It's going to be pretty difficult. There we go. Let's focus in on that. Real nice feel to it. The carbon fiber feels nice. Doesn't really, you know, get in the way. Doesn't feel too rough or anything like that. Nice clicky buttons. No complaints in that department. And of course you have the bottom USB charger there. Now I'm not sure if this also can do upgrading the firmware via the USB cable. I would like to think so, but that's yet to be seen from Council Vapor. So who knows? I'm not really sure on that, but that could be a possibility. So let's go to the tank real quick. Alright, so as you can see, this little O-ring in there comes out, and then you get your top airflow, which is right out of these little holes in the side there. Now I prefer no top airflow, so I'm just going to go ahead and replace that little O-ring. You guys can probably see the little splash guard in there, and I've had no splashback issues so far, which is really great. Just taking out the tip now. That's how you unscrew it to fill it. Very easy, simple to fill. Just right down the side holes there. Try to avoid the center hole, obviously. There's the red O-rings on the top there. Not sure why they went with red. Kind of clashes a little bit, but you know, that's fairly subjective. And once we take the tank off, you can see the coil. Hopefully you guys can see the inner diameter of the coil. Pretty wide. No complaints as far as the coils go. It holds up well, even at 40 watts with a 0.8 ohm. You can see the wicking holes on the outside there. No wicking issues as of yet. And the white O-ring at the bottom. and no leaking issues as well. So I really do like this tank. It's definitely a good tank. Then you have your bottom airflow here, quad airflow, which is adjustable just by turning it one way or the other. And it has a stopper when you hit wide open so you don't go too far and end up accidentally closing off your airflow at all. I prefer it wide open, but you can close it all the way down if you so choose. And the bottom, you can see the gorgeous engravings. I always love Council of Vapor's engravings. Now, if I was to compare it to, say, a Kanger Subtank Nano, hopefully you guys can see that the Subtank Nano is actually a little bit larger if you're going to include the drip tip with it. So there you go. There's a size comparison for you. And the difference between the standard Vengeance tank and the Mini Volt Vengeance tank, if you want to call it that. A little bit taller from the Vengeance, and I like that you can top fill using the Mini Vengeance. Now, one thing that's really cool about this is that it's pretty much the same size as a 30 ml bottle of juice. So, I mean, that's pretty much level right there. Pretty incredible that they pack so much power into such a tiny little device. And yeah, it's very small, very lightweight, compact, easy to use. Very, very good overall device. So that being said, let's go back to the main screen, have a quick vape off of this thing, and we'll talk about it some more. Alright guys, we are back. Now we're going to go over some pros, some cons, and whether or not I would purchase this device for myself, as well as the contest rules, so make sure you stay tuned for that. First of all, let's go over some pros. My first pro is going to be that it is small and lightweight. Obviously, this thing is very, very small, compact, lightweight, pocket-sized, perfect to take anywhere. Really love that fact. I mean, you could literally just put this thing right in your coat pocket and take it anywhere with you, no problem there. My second pro, that it is going to be powerful for its size. Now, obviously, this thing is very small, and comparing it to the 40-watt box mods of yesteryear, this thing is very powerful for the actual compactness of it. Most of the time back in the day, you would see 40-watt boxes being, kind of like this. This size here, or maybe even a little bit bigger, similar to like the Hanamod or something like that back in the day, but they've crammed it all into a tiny little package, which I can definitely appreciate. My next pro is going to be the top fill. It's very handy. You fit a lot of juice in there, and I definitely think you get an extra maybe half a mil out of the top fill compared to the standard bottom fill tanks, and I'm really glad they included that in this package here. My final pro is going to be that it has excellent airflow. Now, this has a quad airflow design similar to the Vengeance tank, which I have that right here. So very similar to the Vengeance tank. It has the same kind of quad airflow, which is really, really great. No complaints in the airflow department. I think it's even a little bit better than a similar tank, which would be like the Subtank Nano. I think the airflow is a little bit better on the Vengeance, Mini Vengeance tank rather than the Kanger version. So that being said, let's go ahead and talk about some cons. My first con is the battery doesn't really last very long. And I mean, what are you going to expect out of a battery this size here? It's very similar to, an 18350 or something like that. Not sure exactly what battery they put in this because it's a proprietary thing. They wouldn't tell me, so I'm not sure the actual specs on the battery itself, other than the fact that it's 1300 milliamp hours. That being said, it only lasts me about 100 puffs at 40 watts. If you use this thing with the standard coils at 40 watts, you're going to expect about 100 to 150 puffs on it before the thing's dead. I mean, I charged this thing up fully before I started this review, and it's already at about half battery. So that being said, if you're planning on using it at the maximum power, which is 40 watts, don't expect a huge battery life out of it, but that's to be expected out of something this size here. My next con is going to be that its menu design is a little bit overcomplicated. Now, as I showed you in the close-up section, it's a little bit fiddly how you get into the menus. But other than that, I mean, it's kind of pretty cool considering, you know, the size of the screen and everything, and the fact that they made their own chip, but I just find the menus to be a little bit overcomplicated. My next con is going to be the lack of coil options. Now, with every Council of Vapor tank, you're going to expect that it's a proprietary coil, just like this thing here. So unfortunately, you can only use their coils on this device, which I kind of wish they would have came out with something a little bit different, mix it up a little bit, maybe come out with a 1.5 ohm coil that you can use at 10 to 15 watts or so, or something like that, to kind of supplement that. Now, that being said, even with the quad airflow, it's hard to really cut it off to the point when you can actually reduce it enough to be a mouth-to-lung inhale device, and that's kind of what I wish they would have gone with. Unfortunately, it's not such the case with this thing here. Even with this almost completely cut off, it's still pretty difficult for me to get a mouth-to-lung inhale on it. Which I would kind of see most people buying this as a starter kit, so unfortunately they're not really catering to that kind of market. My next con is going to be the tank doesn't match the mod, and it's very subjective, I know, but the carbon fiber and black mod doesn't really match the kind of gunmetal tank. I mean, that's personal preference, of course, and I don't think it doesn't make any sort of difference when it comes to the performance of this device. However, I just think it would have given it a more finished look when if you had a black tank to match the black mod. And my only other con is the fact that it shuts itself off after about a few minutes. I'm gonna guess around 5 minutes or so on standby mode. This thing shuts itself off, and every time I go to take a puff on it, I have to make sure I click it 5 times to turn it back on. It's a little bit of an inconvenience, but that's just something that is controlled by the chip, and I'm not sure why they did that, but it's just a little bit of a con for me. So would I purchase this device if I did not receive it for free for the purpose of this review? And my answer would be yes. The reason being is that I'm the type of person that is a true believer in the fact that there's a mod for every occasion. Now this thing here, you can just put it in your coat pocket, you can put it in your pocket or something like that, very, very lightweight, compact, great for anyone that's looking for a mod to just pick up and go out for a drive with it or something like that, or in a place that you can't really, you don't want to be caught with a big box mod or a tube mod or something like that. Just grab your little Council of Vapor mini volt kit and you're good to go. Excellent for stealth vaping. At the price point of $45, I could also see myself buying one of these for someone that's looking to quit smoking or something like that, just as a little, starter set or something like that. I really think that this could be a good starter kit for anyone that's looking to get into vaping and doesn't want to spend a ton of money on a full-on setup. So, that being said, let's get on to the contest details. Very simple entry. All you have to do is send me an email with the title Council of Vapor Giveaway. Just have that in the title, and for the body message of the email, just say the last 2 words I say for every single video. I'll put my email up right about here. I'll have it here for you, as well as the description below. So make sure you check that out if you want to win this exact device right here. So, that being said, that about does it for this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to leave a comment below on what you thought of this device and whether or not you would get one for yourself, or even if you're excited for the chance to win this thing for yourself. Don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed this. Don't forget to subscribe as well. We hit 5,000 subscribers, which I'll do another contest for the 5,000 subscriber giveaway, the big one. We'll announce that a little bit later. I know I'm slacking. I had a long weekend with the whole Voltage Cloud Comp and 2-year anniversary party, so still kind of recovering for that. Anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to check out spinfuel.com for more of my videos, as well as Smoke and Joey and Spinfuel official videos. And as always, vape on.